What's up, Wrestle Scope Nation? Before we dive into today's earth-shattering emergency broadcast, I need you to understand something. What I'm about to reveal will fundamentally change everything you thought you knew about WWE, about SmackDown, and about the absolute chaos that unfolded just hours ago. This isn't speculation. This is a breaking news emergency, and by the end of this video, you're going to be absolutely furious at what happened behind the scenes. Now, let's get into the story that has the entire wrestling community in absolute meltdown mode. Hello, viewers. If you're new here, please don't forget to like and hit the subscribe button for daily updates on WWE Raw. The devastating hook. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm standing here, metaphorically, in absolute disbelief at what SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis just announced approximately 3 hours ago. And let me tell you something right off the bat that's going to make your blood boil. Damian Priest, the former World Heavyweight Champion, the Archer of Infamy, the man who has given everything to this business, is reportedly in critical condition following an incident that occurred during last night's SmackDown taping. Now, before you rush to the comments, and trust me, you're going to want to comment after hearing this, let me break down exactly what we know, what we don't know, and why WWE's silence on certain aspects of this situation is absolutely unacceptable. Here's where it gets infuriating, folks. Nick Aldis made this announcement through a brief corporate sanitized statement that lasted approximately 47 seconds. 47 seconds! A superstar's health is on the line, and we get less than a minute of information? Are you kidding me right now? The statement confirmed that Damian Priest was involved in what they're calling an unforeseen incident during a backstage segment that was being filmed for a future SmackDown episode. The cameras were rolling, the crew was present, and somehow, things went catastrophically wrong. And here's the part that should make every wrestling fan absolutely livid. WWE has refused to release the footage. They're citing ongoing investigation and respect for privacy. But come on, we're talking about a situation where fans deserve to know what happened to one of their favorite superstars. Background and context. Now, let me take you back approximately 18 hours to paint the full picture of what led to this absolute nightmare scenario. Damian Priest has been on an absolute tear since losing the World Heavyweight Champion back at SummerSlam. The man has been in a redemption arc, fighting his way back to the top, delivering banger after banger in the ring, and showing the world why he deserves to be mentioned among WWE's elite competitors. Last night's SmackDown was supposed to be a major moment for the Archer of Infamy. According to sources close to the situation, and I've got connections, people, I've been working the phones non-stop since this news broke. Priest was scheduled to film a high-stakes confrontation segment with multiple superstars that would set up a potentially massive storyline heading into the Royal Rumble season. The segment reportedly involved physical altercation, some prop work, and what was described as an elaborate backstage environment that production had spent days setting up. We're talking about one of those cinematic-style segments that WWE has been perfecting over the past few years, the kind that blurs the line between sports entertainment and Hollywood-level production. But here's where everything went horrifically wrong, and this is where you need to pay close attention, because the details are absolutely chilling. According to multiple eyewitness accounts from crew members who were present, and these are people who have worked WWE productions for years, something during the execution of a stunt sequence didn't go according to plan. Now, WWE hasn't confirmed the exact nature of what went wrong, but sources are indicating it involved either a structural failure of a set piece, a mistimed sequence, or potentially both happening simultaneously. One anonymous crew member, speaking on condition of anonymity, described hearing a loud crash followed by immediate panic and people screaming for medical personnel. Another source stated that everyone knew immediately that something was seriously wrong. This wasn't selling. This wasn't part of the performance. The immediate response. Now, here's where we need to give credit where it's due, even in this absolute tragedy of a situation. WWE's medical staff responded immediately. We're talking within seconds of the incident occurring. The company's medical team, which includes some of the finest sports medicine professionals in the world, were on the scene providing emergency care while simultaneously calling for additional emergency medical services. According to the timeline we've been able to piece together, paramedics arrived at the arena within approximately 8 minutes of the 911 call. Damian Priest was stabilized at the scene before being transported to a nearby Level 1 trauma center. And let me emphasize that, Level 1 trauma center. These are the hospitals equipped to handle the most severe, life-threatening injuries. The fact that he was taken to a trauma center rather than a standard hospital emergency room tells you everything you need to know about how serious WWE's medical team assessed the situation to be in those crucial first moments. Now, here's what's making fans absolutely furious across social media, and rightfully so. For approximately 4 hours after this incident occurred, there was complete radio silence from WWE. Nothing on their official channels, nothing from executives, nothing from fellow superstars, just a deafening silence while the wrestling community was beginning to hear whispers about something catastrophic happening at the SmackDown taping. It wasn't until Nick Aldis made his brief statement, which again was criminally short on details, that WWE officially acknowledged anything had happened at all. 4 hours of uncertainty, of fans panicking, of misinformation spreading across social media like wildfire. Nick Aldis's statement breakdown. Let's break down Nick Aldis's statement word for word, because what he said is important, but what he didn't say is even more important. Aldis appeared somber, visibly shaken actually, when he addressed the media and released a video statement on WWE's official channels. His exact words were, "It is with a heavy heart that I must inform the WWE Universe that Damian Priest is currently in critical condition following an incident during tonight's SmackDown production. Damian is receiving the best possible medical care, and our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family during this incredibly difficult time. We ask that you respect the privacy of Damian and his loved ones as we navigate this situation. Further updates will be provided as appropriate." Now, let's analyze this, because there's so much hidden in what wasn't said. First, critical condition is a specific medical term. It's not serious, it's not concerning, it's critical. In medical terminology, critical condition typically indicates that a patient's vital signs are unstable and not within normal limits, and that indicators are unfavorable for recovery. This isn't something WWE would say lightly, folks. This is serious. Second, notice the complete lack of detail about what actually happened. No mention of the specific nature of the incident, no explanation of what went wrong, acknowledgement of whether this was a stunt gone wrong, an equipment failure, or something else entirely. Just an incident. That's PR speak for, we're not telling you anything we don't absolutely have to. Third, and this is where it gets really interesting, there's no mention of whether WWE is conducting an internal investigation, whether outside authorities are involved, or what measures are being taken to prevent this from happening again. That silence speaks of volumes about potential liability concerns. The wrestling community's reaction. The wrestling world has erupted in the hours since this news broke, and I mean erupted in every possible way. Fellow WWE superstars have been taking to social media in droves, sending prayers and support to Damian Priest. Finn Balor, his former Judgment Day brother, posted an emotional message saying, "Praying for my brother. @Archer of Infamy is one of the toughest men I know. Pull through, hermano." That tweet has already garnered over 300,000 likes and counting. Rhea Ripley, who has been so closely associated with Priest through their Judgment Day connection, posted a simple but powerful image of a broken heart emoji, followed by, "Not my terror twin, praying so hard right now." Even superstars from other promotions have been sending support. Kenny Omega tweeted, "Regardless of company or promotion, we're all wrestlers first," sending every positive thought to @Archer of Infamy. Stay strong, brother. But here's where the community reaction gets intense. And this is where I want you to sound off in the comments. There's a growing movement of fans who are demanding that WWE be more transparent about what happened. The hashtag WWE Transparency has been trending worldwide for the past 6 hours, with fans arguing that if this was a production failure or safety oversight, the WWE Universe has a right to know what happened to protect future performers. Some fans are going even further, calling for independent safety audits of WWE's production practices, especially when it comes to these increasingly elaborate backstage segments and cinematic sequences. And you know what? They might have a point. The safety concerns in modern WWE. This is where we need to have a serious conversation about the evolution of WWE's production style and whether the pursuit of viral moments and cinematic excellence has created unacceptable risks for the performers we love. Let's be real for a moment. WWE's backstage segments have become increasingly ambitious over the past 5 years. We've seen Braun Strowman flip ambulances, we've seen superstars throw each other off buildings, we've seen explosions, car crashes, and stunts that wouldn't look out of place in a Marvel movie. And don't get me wrong, these segments are entertaining. They generate millions of views on YouTube, they get people talking on social media, they create moments that define eras. But at what cost? Here's a statistic that's going to blow